done is got some surveyor to go out and survey the land, and what they would do is they'd say from the northwest corner or the southwest quarter or something like that, go 150 feet to the northwest corner and then go west so many feet and south so many feet. You see what I'm saying? That's a meets and bounds legal description. And but that's not fatal, okay? I mean, that's the ironclad best way to do it. You know, the fact that you paid coin, okay, and brought forward all the rights and privileges of the land patent, I think is the most important part. And I don't think it's fatal. And I guess we'll see, you know, again, you know, the only way you really know is to take it into court and see what happens, you know. And again, it comes down to the crook on the bench too. So, but ideally, it should be in a meets and bounds legal description. Now, this Lot 1 or Rancho subdivision would be, you could use the meets and bounds legal description and then say also known as, you know, whatever their legal description is, you know, to eliminate any confusion so they know that you're what you're talking about. But, you know, a patent from the original people would trump any other patent, you know, and that's what I'd like to do. I'm a kind of in-your-face sort of guy, so, you know, I don't have a problem locking horns with them. Because almost everything is done these days with commercial paper. The courts presume that commercial paper was used. You can defeat their presumption by putting in the land transfer document the type of payment that was received, gold or silver coin. Now, one thing you have to remember is you don't purchase land, okay? You tell them you converted some silver or gold coin to land, okay? I've seen court cases that talk about it. If you use the word purchase, then that's a commercial transaction, okay? So if when push comes to shove, you can show them the bill of exchange, but what you say is I converted some silver or gold to land. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what you did. That's the bill of exchange. You're exchanging something real for something real. And you didn't buy anything. You converted some gold or silver coin for land. And this is a possible bill of exchange. Upon receipt of 20 each 1 troy ounce pieces of pure silver each, I do hereby grant and exchange to John Henry, House of Smith, this land together with all the rights and privileges of the original land patent number, blah, 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 a true copy of which is attached here to and incorporated herein by reference in its entirety. And really, that's all it has to say. When you get a true allodial title, you do not tell them you purchased your land, yeah, right, or bought it. Those are all commercial transactions. You converted some silver into land. Conversion is common law. And I've seen court cases that talk about it. This is Indian Act. And then get a load of this, eh? In this act, surrendered lands means a reserve or part of reserve or any interest therein, the legal title which remains vested in Her Majesty that has been released or surrendered by the band for whose use and benefit it was set apart. In other words, the Indian gave us the land and we're letting them use it, eh? What a bunch of garbage. And this, subject to any orders, regulation, and this is very similar to the Trading with the Enemy Act. Okay, this is Title 50, United States Code, the Trading with the Enemy Act. Subject to any orders made under this act, until otherwise provided pursuant to any act of Parliament of Canada, the court shall exercise its prized jurisdiction in respect of like persons. Okay, so anybody that's a person is an enemy of the state. So if you're a U.S. citizen, you're an enemy of the state. That's really what it comes down to. And that's why they regulate U.S. citizens. They have every right to regulate U.S. citizens. And by you telling them I'm a U.S. citizen, you're telling them you're an enemy of the state and they can regulate you. If you're the king, then you're their boss. And that's the difference. And that's really what it comes down to is all these sheeple out here are basically announcing I'm an enemy of the state. And it's persons that they regulate. And it's persons they steal their property from, you know. It's all goes down to persons. And the Trading with the Enemy Act, I need to put some stuff in the Trading with the Enemy Act because it talks about it in there too. It's all the same stuff. That's very similar. The Prize Act in Canada and the Trading with the Enemy Act is I mean, the wording is different and stuff, but it basically talks about the same things. And
for instance, if you bought a piece of, say if you paid for the piece of property with the you get it pretty clear, you've got the title, you're not paying the land taxes on it, then you sell that to someone else, how do you convey that, all that to them? I mean, say they want to buy the piece of property from you, you have that property, you want to sell it.
Okay.
They pay you, not in gold, but they pay you another form.
How?
Huh?
How are they going to pay you?
Well,
I guess it depends.
No, they're going to pay you in,
Number one,
they're going to pay you in
commercial paper?
first paper.
Well, you know,
Does that convert that land back over to
I would say it would.
tax?
I would say,
Well,
yeah.
okay.
You know, a lot of it depends on, you know, how you want to transfer it to them. And my attitude is that, you know, if they don't care, then I don't care. You know, I mean, because if they're an idiot, let them stay an idiot. I might try and educate them.
I'm just saying, if it's in the commercial paper, then would it maintain its
No, no, no. Because again, you have to put it on the deed. You know, if do they want all the rights and privileges of the original land patent? Do they want to? I try and educate them a little bit, and if they were interested, then I'd educate them and see if they wanted to put all that stuff on there. But if they're you know don't care, then I certainly don't care. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna.
It would convey it automatically, even no matter what.
It would go right back into the matrix. I mean, as soon as you transfer it, you know, you say, upon receipt of $21 plus other good and lawful consideration, right? I mean, if you don't specify, then that's all Federal Reserve notes. You see what I'm saying? Then it's right back in the matrix.
If you put $21 in silver and gold coins or silver coins and other considerations.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that unless they want it done that way. In other words, if they, I'll try and educate them a little bit. But if they're, you know, some people are, you know, I mean, they don't care. They're totally into the system, and if they like it, well, you know, that's their choice. They want to be a slave, then I don't, you know, I'm not going to stop them. And furthermore, you know, they obviously need to be a slave some more before they start appreciating freedom. You know, I mean, that's my attitude. If they like being a slave, then I'm going to help them out with that, because they obviously don't appreciate their freedom, and so then they need to learn to appreciate their freedom, and they need to be abused, and all the rest of it. And so I'll let them get abused. You know, I'm not going to get in the way of that. And if they want to contribute to the bankruptcy, well, hey, contribute. I don't know, that's my attitude. You know, it's just like, you know, if people want to help themselves, if people want to make out paperwork, and I'll send them templates, and if they want to manipulate it and send it back to me, I'll review it, and I'll help them to juice it up and all the rest of it. But I'm not going to make it up for them. You know, I'm not a babysitter, and they need to get off their butt and manipulate it and do the best they can and send it to me, and then I'll help them. You know, but the bottom line is I'm not going to make it up for them. You know, they got to get off their backside and do it themselves. You know, I've had a lot of people that you know expect me to do everything for them, and sorry, you know. I mean, you gotta get in there and get.
If they want you to do all that, then they better come up with the gold and silver.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of it. How much is a lawyer going to charge them for that stuff? First of all, a lawyer couldn't do it. You know, so it's going to cost them more than what a lawyer would charge them if they want that to be done. I mean, they want to start slipping me. You know.
Changing the subject slightly, mention lawyers. An officer of the court, in other words, on your affidavit for your identity, if you have a lawyer sign it, that would be considered as a officer of the court?
Yeah, lawyer, but I prefer having a notary because they have a stamp. But yeah, a lawyer is an officer of the court for sure.
But notary public was just as good as a...
Notaries, in my opinion, better because they have a stamp. I mean, how do they know if a lawyer signs it? How do they know it's a lawyer? Unless the lawyer writes his name in there, a lawyer, you know. But otherwise, they don't know it's a lawyer. And a notary has a stamp. The reason I have this is because this is where your birth is supposed to be recorded, your births. And right here, here's the family tree, here's marriages, here's births, okay? Important religious events, deaths. This is the traditional way that it's done at common law. And I've talked to border guards and they know all about it. So you could theoretically go to the border and say, yes, here's the family Bible, and here's where the birth was recorded, and so I don't have a birth certificate, but this is how it's done. And they'd have nothing to say about it. Anyways, you can pass that around, look at it.
Get your passport get your passport that way too, right? Instead of
Yes, you can. Yes, actually, if you read the passport instructions, you can actually get a passport by providing 1 or 2 people that know you, that have known you for years, and you've been living here. So a couple witnesses, basically. You see what I'm saying? And yes, you can do that without a birth certificate. Okay, so keep moving. Oh, let's talk about this. Well, actually, we'll talk about this during this presentation. But we can pass these around. Do you want to take a look at these? You're welcome to take a look at them.
I do want to take a look at them.
Here's another one. Where'd the rest of them go? I had a whole bunch of them. Okay, here, I'll get them. I'll get them.
I have one.
Now, if you look at these, you want one? These are the tax exemption certificates. These are taken from the state of Arizona's website. Here you go. Okay, you got one. You want one? Okay, if you look at them, the important thing is, you read the bottom, the statement. I understand that I'll be liable for payment of sales or use tax for which may become due for failure to comply with the provisions of the tax code, limited sales excise and use tax, municipal sales excise and use tax act, sales and use taxes for special purpose taxing authorities, county sales and use tax act. Okay, it's listing all these acts. Anyways, I understand that it is a criminal offense to give an exemption certificate to the seller for taxable items that I know at the time of purchase will be used in a manner other than that is expressed in this certificate, and depending on the amount of tax evaded, the offense may range from a Class C misdemeanor to a felony of the 2nd degree. So, the question is, do you know who you are? Okay? And what I would be putting down here is, my name is Glenn Winningham, House of Fern. Okay? My address would be whatever the address is, care of 6340 Lake Worth Boulevard, Fort Worth, Texas, zip code exempt, okay? And then I might even add in sovereign living soul, and sign purchaser is just your mark, your signature is just a mark, okay? So you just sign your regular signature, title, sovereign living soul, and date. And so you just, if you know who you are, you wouldn't have a problem signing one of these things, and you give it to the store, and you can, this is their form, and basically not pay the sales tax. Okay. Now you won't be able to get out of paying sales tax for like a motor vehicle or something like that. The only way that you can really get out of paying that is you got to tell them you're taking it to a foreign jurisdiction, which you could do that, and then you usually what they want to see is a driver's license from a foreign jurisdiction, but it depends. But so you could, and then you have to pay cash for the motor vehicle too, okay? Because if you get a loan, then you're going to pay the tax for sure. Okay.
But if you showed him your passport and you were a non-U.S. citizen, would that be foreign?
Yeah. To Indian nation, would that also be considered foreign?
Could. Again, it depends on how good a talker you are, because a lot of these people at the dealerships and stuff are, just trying to do what they're told.
They also want your Social Security number.
Well, if you get a loan, it's hard not to give it to. Okay, but otherwise, you can easily give them an affidavit.